If you think that you can compete with giants like Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, eBay with an average e-commerce website, think again. It's going to become more and more difficult for small and medium-sized businesses to be able to directly compete with companies like Amazon. Now, I've been screaming about this for the past few years, and a lot of people have been very complacent. And now that the market has slowed down a little bit, we are seeing a lot of small and medium-sized businesses really go through challenges in making ends meet, in hiring, in paying bills. And the growth of e-commerce businesses has slowed down significantly after what happened in 2020 and 2021. So I'll tell you this much, there is a lot of excess inventory in the marketplace right now. And that is directly related to the supply chain issues that we had right after COVID. So let's do the math together. More fierce competition, cost per clicks are at a maximum high, conversion rates are at a maximum low, prices are up but profit margins are low, and you want to tell me that you don't want to innovate, you don't want to grow, you don't want to invest in technologies, you don't want to have a competitive edge in e-commerce competing against billion-dollar companies? You might be delusional. And you might say, all right, Duran, since you know so much, why don't you tell us what we should do? At a very high level, I would say invest in technology, invest in AI, invest in your core customer base, and stop being cheap and stop being complacent. Ultra precision scales. We have a client that we've been working with for the past 16 years, arlendscales.com. It took us about 5 to 10 years to really nail down the visibility of arlendscales.com and establish them as the top authority for custom weighing equipment. One of their top products is Ultra Precision Scales. If you search for this on incognito on Google, you're gonna see a left-hand side of filters that are created by Google, and the top 5 or 6 results are going to be paid search. And even though Arlen Scales is number 1 organically for that term, they are below the fold. They don't even show up. So what does this mean for arlendscales.com or any other related B2B or B2C e-commerce website? 1, showing up organically is not enough anymore. You have to have an omni-channel approach, because if you want the inbound traffic, if you want the real buy intent traffic, you need to show up on Google Shopping, on Google Organic, on Google search terms with paid search. You need to show up on retargeting, on Facebook feeds, on Instagram feeds, TikTok feeds. If you do any kind of B2B, you might need to be on Faire, you might need to be on eBay and Etsy. If you're doing any kind of B2C, you have to have the presence on multiple platforms where the users and customers are looking for products. Now, I also have the luxury to look at about 100 websites on a weekly basis that are doing millions of dollars on revenue, that are on multiple platforms, running hundreds of different types of technologies. And I'll tell you this much, 90% of them do not have their shit together. And these are businesses that are pulling in $5, $10, $15 million in annual revenue. That's when the conversation comes to the e-commerce platform. So if you're an e-commerce business and you're competing with these billion-dollar organizations and you're competing against Google, who's just trying to make money with paid search and is not showing you, even if you are number 1 on Google, you are not getting that click, the primary thing you need to look at is you have to be on the right platform. Now, Bigcommerce is a platform that we really like at OptimumSell. And I'm not saying that because we're partners with Bigcommerce. Of course that's important, because I get direct access to their engineers, to their C-levels. I get direct access to their product roadmap. I get to tell them which functionalities they should add to their platform. Those are all nice things. But I also get to see the clients that I have that are making hundreds of millions of dollars on this platform. Now, no platform is perfect. Every single platform has bugs and issues. But I have experienced firsthand how Bigcommerce really approaches the customer requests, the bugs that they might have on their platform, and how they continuously improve their platform. If the conversation is about Should I be on the regular Bigcommerce that costs $30, $50, $100, $200 per month? Or should I be on Bigcommerce Enterprise or Bigcommerce B2B edition? In my professional opinion, Bigcommerce has really paid attention to what's happening in the marketplace. If you look at an agency and a development company like Optimum 7, probably 60 to 70% of our clients are all businesses that have a B2B aspect in their operation. And why is B2B so important? I have talked about this many times before. If you are selling a $30 t-shirt and you have to pay $5 cost per click, that's a losing business. But if you have a business where you're selling $50 t-shirts and you're selling 1,000 of them to a school or to a business, then your average order volume suddenly skyrockets. Then paying $5, $10, $20 for that click for that potential customer does not look so bad, does it? If you don't understand the financial matrix of an e-commerce business, and if you do not understand how these different KPIs play a role in your growth, and more importantly, in your profitability, you should not be in business. Cost per click. We all know what cost per click is. It's how much you pay for each click to your website. Your conversion rate. We all know what that is. If you have 100 people come to your site and 5 of them actually purchase a product, your conversion rate is 5%. Then we have the cost per acquisition. If you have 100 people that come to your site, 5 of them purchase a product, and you paid $1 for each one of those clicks, you spent $100, you got 5 orders, so your cost per acquisition is $20. But the next part is really, really interesting. And this part is where millions are made. All right, so if your cost per acquisition is $20 and your conversion rate is 5%, what are you really selling to that customer? Is it a $30 shirt, or is it a $100 shirt bundle, or is it a $500 shirt making printer, or is it a $3,000 shirt making machine? Because that makes a difference. And that's your average order volume. But it doesn't end there. Let's say, for the sake of the argument, your average order volume is $100. Every customer that comes, you are somehow able to sell them 3 shirts for $33.30 each. So now you spent $100, you paid $1 CPC for each click, you got 100 people to your site, you got 5 customers, and these 5 customers paid you $100 each, so you made $500. You spent $100 to make $500. The next step is, what's your profit margin on that $100? Are you offering free shipping or not? Let's say, again, for the sake of the argument, your profit margin is 50%. So now you spent $100 to make $250. That's a profitable business. But the fact that you get 100 clicks and sold 5 products doesn't mean that you're gonna get 1,000 clicks and sell 50 products. As you scale, your conversion rate usually drops. And the final KPI is lifetime value of a customer. That customer comes to your site, purchases a $100 order with 3 t-shirts on it. How many more times is that customer going to come back to your site to purchase from you for the lifetime of your business? That's the lifetime value of a customer. This is why one of the reasons that subscription-based businesses do really, really well and their net worth is a lot higher than businesses that sell one-off products. If you can understand this entire matrix, then you are fit to run an e-commerce business. Now, here is the trick. All of these KPIs that I just mentioned, all of these little numbers have another 20 or 30 little numbers attached to them. Let's say average order volume. When you look at an average order volume, there are strategies that you can do from a pricing structure, from a design structure, from a functionality structure to maximize your average order volume. Because if you maximize your average order volume, that means that you can spend more on the cost per click. You can spend more on advertisement. If you can spend more on advertisement on the cost per click, that means that you can now compete with these billion-dollar companies like Amazon, Walmart, eBay, etc. Because they do have the money to do all of that. And you have to understand the only weapon that you have as a small or medium-sized business against the billion-dollar organizations is your ability to move fast. So when a consultant like me or an agency like me or a development expert like me comes to you and says, you need to have search and filters on your website because you have thousands of products, or you need to have a pre or post checkout upsell on your website because your average order volume sucks. You need to have these conversion optimization elements because your add to carts are low. If you don't listen to that advice and if you don't move fast, you're gonna go out of business. Or you're not gonna make money and you're just gonna cruise until you go out of business. Now, a platform like Bigcommerce Enterprise allows you to be able to compete, allows you to be able to move fast. They have a very robust system. They have the integrations with the third parties to maximize the average order volume, to maximize the upsell potential of your specific e-commerce site. For B2B businesses to be able to have a quoting functionality in your backend so that you can actually provide quotes to your B2B customers. To be able to have this tiered pricing that you need for the thousands of different B2B customers you have. To be able to do all of this, you have to be on the right platform. This is why if you are on the regular version of Bigcommerce that costs $200 a month, that might not be sufficient for you to get to 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 50, $100 million because you do not have the right infrastructure. We have clients on Bigcommerce Enterprise that are doing $2 million. Then we have clients on Bigcommerce Enterprise that are doing $200 million. When you operate and run an e-commerce business, and Optimum 7 is not my only business. I run and operate my own e-commerce businesses. I invest in e-commerce businesses. I consult the mergers and acquisitions of e-commerce businesses. It's really, really nice to be on a platform where you can scale from a few $1 million to tens of millions of dollars without having to worry about technology so much. I have seen time and time again big companies on Magento, on WooCommerce, and they're going through so many challenges and it kind of like blocks your growth because you're constantly dealing with issues as you are trying to grow and scale. You will not have these issues on Bigcommerce Enterprise, and even if you do, they will look so minuscule compared to the issues you would have on an open source solution or on a solution that is not cloud native. This is one of the reasons why at Optimum 7, we recommend enterprise platforms like Bigcommerce Enterprise and for the B2B businesses, Bigcommerce B2B Edition. Because here again, how are you ever going to compete with billion-dollar organizations if you are on a sucky e-commerce platform? And the answer is, you cannot.